All right, we're on Tuesday the 2nd. We're on upper body. We have 2 parts to this workout. The first part is 4, 5, or 6 rounds, alternating bent over rows, pullovers, single arm shoulder press, and extended around the world. And then our part 2 is renegade rows, which is for reps, not for rounds. So alternating bent over rows. So because it's alternating, you're just gonna count to 16. Move this over a little bit. Okay. Pullovers. Alternating single arm shoulder press. And alternating extended around the world, okay. Okay, oh, and then part 2, renegade rows. So these, I think I can hold on with these on the carpet. Or like, see how mine just went like this? If your weights are gonna roll or you're using a bigger weight or heavy weight or something, you can put your hands on the outside of the weight and then just grab as you need it, place it down. Grab as you need it, place it down, and of course you can always do kneeling. So, alternating bent over rows. So we have this specific stance anytime we're doing bent over anything, okay? So it's gonna look like this. So basically your knees are slightly bent, your butt is pushing behind you. So not down, but to the wall behind you, so your hips are pushed backward, and then your back is gonna fold, but kind of stay straight. So it's not hunched, it's like this, okay? So this is kind of your bent over stance anytime we do bent over anything. So we have our alternating rows. So rows are working your shoulder blades, okay? So you're gonna put your weights in front of you, get in your bent over stance, and you're gonna row one arm down, row the other arm down, okay? Pull, 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 pull. And when I pull, I'm pulling kind of diagonal back, okay? So I'm not pulling up, I'm pulling back, because remember, think about your shoulder blade back here, and this is about where the weight is. So the top of the weight is about chest, bottom of the weight is kind of hip, waist area, okay? So that's where I'm pulling back to, okay? That one's pretty simple. Pull overs. So I need to move all of this actually. I'm gonna move my bench to this side. There we go. So I can move this behind. Okay. So I'm gonna move this a little bit more this way. Okay. You're gonna lay on your back. You're gonna take one dumbbell, hold it the long way, and put it behind your head. So your arms are outstretched, holding the dumbbell. Your knees are bent. You're going to just rotate at the shoulder and pull it to above your chest and then back down. Right above the chest, back down. So notice nothing on my arm is moving, it's just my arms are rotating at my shoulder. That's how the weight is moving, okay? Another one that's pretty simple. Alternating single arm shoulder press. You're going to hold your weights at your shoulders and you are alternating pressing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 16, okay? So with this, what you want to make sure when you press is that you're not pressing in front of your head, and you don't want to press and go behind your head either, okay? And especially when you do this, it's gonna make your back arch. So it should just look like this. Your elbows should be by your ears. If you have a hard time controlling your sway back, think about either A, tilting your pelvis in, like tucking it in, Or if you squeeze your butt cheeks, if you clench, it also makes it tuck. So if you find that, especially, it's not as difficult with the single, but if you were doing a double, like a regular shoulder press, a lot of times when you get to the top, it feels more stable for whatever reason for your back to go out like this. I know I used to do that all the time. So the easiest way to fix it is tuck or clench, and now you're straight, okay? So think about that. If you're not sure if you're doing that or not, you can tape it, or you might end up feeling it. So if you do this workout and like the next day or 2 days later, your lower back hurts, which we didn't work our lower back in this workout, you might be doing the overarching when you're above head with your weights. So that's how you would know if you don't know you're doing it. It'll bother you. And then we have extended around the worlds. So this one, we do around the worlds a lot in this program, which is just around your head like that. So this time we're going hip around head to hip, okay? That's why it's called extended. So you're gonna start on one side, doesn't really matter. We're alternating, and you're gonna go around your head, down to the other hip. 1, up and around your head. 2, up and around your head. 3, okay? So it's just literally making a circle around your head, landing at your hip. Those are your extended around the worlds. You're going to do those 4 exercises, 4, 5, or 6 rounds. That's your choice. And then part 2 is our renegade rows. So this is 4 reps. So the difference between rounds and reps is that when you do something 4 reps, that means that you are picking a high number and you're completing that number of reps kind of as fast as you can. So with our rounds, even though, 16 times 6 can be a high number, you're getting a set break because you're doing it in a set with the other 4 exercises and then taking a rest. Then going on to round 2, then taking a rest. With the 4 reps, there is no built-in rest. So the way that this works is you're basically working yourself into fatigue or into exhaustion, or however you want to word it. So this is meant to be tiring, okay? So if I were to pick 100, I'm going to just start, and the way that I do it is I just stop wherever I stop. So if I'm going to go to 100 and I start and I get a pretty good start and I get to say like 45. Number 1, now my next bouts of it are probably going to be much shorter because 45 is a lot. And I'm not really resting much. So I'm just trying to get it done, and there's no other exercises in between. So you are going to get tired. So I would say I did 45, then I might only get to like 65, then I might only get to 75, then 85, then 90, 95, 100, something like that. That's kind of what mine looks like. It's very high, then it gets lower, lower, lower because I am exhausting my muscles. If you are somebody who is new, or you're somebody who is very intimidated by this entire idea of a really high rep, you can break it down. Like some people might do 20, 20, 20, whatever, or 25, 25, 25. I don't recommend doing it that way because it kind of defeats the purpose of this style. But if it's gonna get you to do it versus not doing it, then you can do it that way, if that makes any sense, okay? So you're gonna pick whatever number between, I think it said 60, my screen went black, 60 and 100 or whatever, and you're gonna get it done however you can, okay? So with our renegade rows, what your regular or more advanced style looks like is high plank position, which looks like this. So your back, basically from your neck to your tailbone is straight. So you shouldn't be piked, you shouldn't be arched down, it should be nice and even, and you're up on your toes. Get a nice open stance with your feet, and you're going to do basically what we just did with the bent over rows, but in this position, okay? So I'm gonna row the weight, put it down. Row the weight, put it down, row the weight, put it down, okay? So this is gonna count as 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I was saying before is if your weights are gonna roll, then put your hands on the outside of the weights and only pick it up as you need it. So pick up, down, pick up, down, pick up, down, and so forth. You can also do it kneeling, okay? So look exactly the same. You're just on your knees. So the only really tip I can give you for this to get the most out of it is to make sure that you are not shifting your body too much. So because we're lifting our hands off of the ground, your weight is gonna shift every time you do that, but you don't want it to be exaggerated. So you don't wanna like lift and turn your body or open up your body and then really sway over every time you switch. You shouldn't be really moving the rest of your body at all. It should just be your arms moving and then your weight kind of slowly shifts as you take your hands off the ground, okay? So that is your Tuesday the 2nd.